In today's video, I'm explaining the 3 fundamental rules of manifesting. If you are struggling right now to manifest something in your life, something that you've been working towards for a long time, and you're trying out different techniques, you're reading up on all the different strategies and tips, tricks, but you're not getting anywhere, you feel like you're hitting a wall with your manifesting efforts, then this video is for you. The 3 fundamental law of attraction rules, I think it's a good way for you to kind of get back to basics. And it's something that even I myself, I've been manifesting for years now, and I've been actively using the law of attraction. I still need to remind myself of these 3 fundamental rules for manifesting, because they're just, they are the bread and butter of every single strategy and technique, and it helps you to just connect with what really matters ultimately, fundamentally, what this principle and this universal law is made up of. So without further ado, I'm going to get straight into it. For those of you who don't know me and this is your first time visiting my channel, welcome. My name is Holly. I'm the founder of Think Tranquility, which is a self-growth and spiritual company dedicated primarily to helping you manifest the life of your dreams and the life that you simply deserve. Okay, I'm going to just tell you a little bit about a story that comes to mind of when I manifested something huge in my life, something that I really wanted, and these 3 rules, these 3 laws kind of came into effect big time for me, and they helped me to push through and manifest what it was that I was wanting. When I was 24, I was still living at home with my parents. I was single. I was in a job that I loved, but it didn't pay a lot. I was working in the hotel industry at the time in central London, and I wanted to move out. I wanted to get onto the property ladder. I wanted to just have my freedom, really, fly the nest and not live by anyone else's rules. And I was told, you're not going to be able to find anywhere within London to get on the, to get on the property ladder. You're just not going to be able to do it with your income. I was earning 18,000 a year, which is nothing by most people's standards. And economically, financially, all the odds were against me. But I thought, no. At that point, I'd sort of studied a bit of the law of attraction, and I was very familiar with Louise Hay and Abraham Hicks, and I was sort of like, no, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna manifest this. I know that I'm the creator of my own reality. So I wrote a list of all the things that I wanted my new property to be. I visualized. I did a lot of meditating, and to cut a long story short, I got onto the property ladder. I got a property in London, not exactly where I wanted it to be, but it was literally a few stops from one of my most favourite places in London, which is Richmond. And I was only there for 2 years, but I made like 60 grand, and I did it. I manifested the money I needed. I manifested the property that I wanted, and it was in London. It was, London District, Zone 5, and I defied all the odds that were against me, and everyone said to me, you're not going to achieve it. And this is how I did it. I basically stuck to that desire, and despite all the kind of peaks and the troughs and the emotional roller coaster that I went on, where I was talking to so many agents and mortgage brokers and people who were just very negative, especially friends and family were very negative. I stuck to my guns, and this kind of leads me to the first principle and the first rule of manifesting, and that is that the law of attraction is always working. You always have a point of attraction, no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, no matter who you're speaking with. So your manifestation that you are currently working on right now if there are people who are telling you, yeah, you need to get real, you need to sort of face reality and stop living in your own bubble, don't listen to them, because your point of attraction is what is determining everything. And I would not, if I were you, I would be very careful about who you tell what to, because you're always going to find naysayers. You're always going to have people telling you what they think, what they feel, and it's their own negative beliefs. That's what you have to remember. But the law of attraction, the universe is always listening. The universe is always actively in operation. It's like gravity, yeah? You can't just say, well, today I'm going to manifest and tomorrow I'm not. No, you are always manifesting what you're thinking, what you're feeling, what you're saying, how you're behaving, how you're acting. It is all determining your point of attraction. So if you want to tip the scales, you need to really become mindful. And the best way to do that is to become what you want to be, right? And that leads me on to my second rule for manifesting, is you don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. Now what I did is I got to a point where I was visualizing my property so much, especially when I was having disappointments. I remember one particular incident. I went and I viewed a property that was based in I think it was in Kent somewhere, which is like Greater London. It's a county just outside of central London, and I fell in love with this place, and it all fell through because of the affordability and me not earning enough money and blah 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 blah, and I was heartbroken. And I think that was actually a turning point for me, where I could have literally given up and thrown the towel in, or it was a case of, do you really want this, Holly? Okay, you're going to keep going, or are you just going to give up now? And there was this voice inside of me that said, no, Holly, you've got to keep going. You haven't come this far for nothing. So I kept going, and what picked me up and helped me to stay strong in terms of that belief and override doubts was visualizing. And it got to a point where I could literally see my living room. I could sit in my living room and I would look around and I would see the colour of the walls, the colour of the carpet, the layout, where the TV was positioned. Excuse me, I've got a bad throat at the moment, so if I sound raspy, that's why. I was literally living and breathing that property at every opportunity. And yeah, I did that as a pick-me-up frequently. And that's really what you've got to do. You've got to step into that desire. And if you're familiar with Dr. Joe Dispenza, I'd recommend him for, if you've not heard of him, go and check Dr. Joe Dispenza out, because he talks about stepping into your reality and remembering your future. Not remembering your past, but remembering your future. And this is where, you attract what you are, not what you want, comes into play. Because when we are stepping into our future that we want, our dream, our manifestation, our body, our mind, everything on a physiological level changes to match that particular frequency. And I'm talking in terms of our cells, the chemicals that are being released in our brain. It's a bit like if you say you've booked a holiday, the holiday of a lifetime, and you're super excited and you're like, oh, I can't wait to go on this holiday. You feel happy just thinking about it, don't you? And it's exactly the same thing. But your mind does not know the difference between the reality or the imagination. In that moment, your brain is releasing the same chemicals that it will, and it does, when you're on that plane flying to that tropical destination or wherever it is you're going, right? The mind does not know the difference. So you can use this to your advantage. And what Dr. Joe Dispenza describes it as being is remembering your future. So when you are surrounded by naysayers and people who are being negative and telling you that, oh, you can't do it, or whatever, you might have heard some bad news that makes you feel like you're back at square one, whatever your circumstances are, by remembering your future and forgetting your past, the past being existing manifestations, current reality, old negative beliefs that you've been telling yourself all this time, those negative storylines, doing away with that and saying, no, I'm going to attract now what I want, because I am becoming what I want. I am being what I want in terms of the words that I'm using, the thoughts that I'm thinking, and that is promoting the way that I want to feel. That is supporting those emotions, hence that energy in motion, right? Because that's what an emotion is, it's energy in motion. So when you practice that more and more, it's like muscle memory. It becomes easier and easier and easier for you to do. So you can step into that as a way to support yourself. And that leads me on to the third rule for manifesting. The third rule for manifesting is that you get back what you give out. So when you are vibrating at that level, when your electromagnetic field and your aura is literally in that zone of, this is who I am, this is who I'm becoming, this is what I'm now achieving and attracting towards me, that is what you're going to get. That is what the universe is going to see and give you more of. And remember, this applies whether it's negative or positive. So if I'd have back then gone along with the agents telling me, no, sorry, your budget's just not, it's not feasible, we can't do anything with that, you're going to have to settle for something like, I don't know, a bed sit rather than a 1-bedroom apartment, which is what I wanted, was a 1-bedroom apartment. And it's going to have to be, way out of London, where you've got no friends, no family. I could have gone that route, or I could have just thrown the towel in altogether and said, you know what, I'm just going to stay at home and do what everyone else does, and if I do move out, I'll have to rent. I didn't want that. And this is where now you've got the choice to say, right, what do I want? What do I want to achieve? How do I become that? And this is where you can look now at your current life, your current circumstances, and see evidence of how you get back what you give out. And that's always been the case historically. Yeah, you look at every situation in your life right now and think, what beliefs have I carried up until now that have created this negative situation or relationship or job or whatever it is? I can guarantee you the thoughts, the words, the beliefs, the stories have all led to creating that. And you can, no doubt, you can see it. You can very clearly see how life has been mirroring to you your mantra and your whole mindset around that particular topic, big or small. Because the law of attraction is, like I said, it's in operation 24 hours a day. It's like gravity. It's never wrong, it never fails, it doesn't just stop working. It's always there. It's always actively in operation. You have a choice to choose what you want to be, what you want to attract, and what you're putting out there. It's as simple as that. Good, bad, ugly, negative, positive, empowering, disempowering, you choose. It's all up to you. But it does work. The law of attraction is real, and manifesting is something that we all have the ability to do, and we always are doing. It might be this end of the scale, it might be that other opposite end of the scale, good or bad. We are always constantly manifesting, no matter what. Everyone is. Whether they're mindfully, consciously aware of it or not is a different subject. But obviously the fact that you're watching this video tells me that you do know about the law of attraction and you do believe in it. You know its power, and no doubt you've proven it to yourself several times. So I get how it can be very frustrating when you come up against obstacles and challenges. But ask yourself right now, look at what you've been doing, the energy that you've been coming at it with, and sometimes it is about just doing things in a more simplified manner to help kickstart that energy. I understand how there is so much information out there about the law of attraction. It can be overwhelming and confusing and very frustrating to know which way to go. But what underpins all of this is how you're feeling in any given moment. If you're doing strategies that are irritating you and you're getting tired of them and it no longer feels exciting, that desire is actually feeling dull and boring, then you need to switch things up and you need to try something that is going to get that spark back up and running, because that is what you're aligning with. Whatever you're giving out is what you're aligning with. Okay, so I hope that has helped you. I hope this video has given you maybe a few aha moments. If so, then please do comment below. As always, like, share, subscribe. If you are taking action, if you are actively manifesting right now, then please let me know. Share your story with me below. Let me know what challenges you've experienced, what breakthroughs you've had, and what you're going to do after watching this video. What kind of different techniques you might want to try, or different things that you might want to apply instead, or forget about altogether. Remember that with all of this, action is the key. Inspired action. Inspired action meaning stepping into that desire, really feeling it, becoming it, enjoying it, being passionate about it, and allowing your heart to lead the way. So if you would like to know more about that and how becoming your desire is actually a very real thing that you can do and you can practice, then check out my 11 sacred secrets to success. You can access them via the Self-Love Bootcamp membership. I'll leave the link below and all the information about that for you to check out. But remember, practice is key. Like any other skill, just be true to yourself, believe in you, and remember, practice, because these are all small little steps that can and will make a huge difference today for yourself and for your dreams. So why wait? Why put it off? Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, lots of love, take care, and I will speak with you very soon.